My name is Elias Munsha, and I would like to welcome you to today's broadcast. Thank you very much for joining me. Here today. Okay, so I'll just give you a few minutes to send the word around. Spread the word around. Contact as many people as possible. Let them know that we are online. Yeah, and so that we can chat. We have several things to deal with as usual, and so thank you very much for joining. If you have any question, please just post it, and then I'm going to see it. So this is TV Bakwetu. This is Bakwetu Television, TV Bakwetu, coming to you from Calgary, Alberta. From the offices of our law firm here, which is known as Munsha Law, right? And so thank you for joining me. Elias Munsha here again. Okay, so if you have any question, please let me know. We've got to discuss a few things that I believe are very appropriate to what is happening today in Zambia. The first one has to do with the abductions that are going on in Southern Province. Yeah. What is happening in Southern Province? It's pretty sad and pretty bad. Okay, in Southern Province. You see, initially, when there was that shooting of Mr. Nsama and Mr. Kaunda in Lusaka, President Lungu gave an assurance that he was going to reform the Zambia police. In fact, even the reformation of the Zambia police, it came with a lot of fanfare and signatures. Big press conference. No, I've fired this one, and I've given the Inspector General of Police some tools so that he can reform the Zambia police. All right. We knew that it was all a fluke. It wasn't going to yield to anything really, because the biggest issue there is not the Zambia police. It is who is giving orders to the Zambia police. That is where the biggest problem is. Okay, so when we are expressing our concerns, it's because we know that the Zambia police are not just going to suddenly transform if they continue receiving double messages from the president and State House. Okay. So there was this idea that there's going to be some changes. Anyway, it's been several weeks now. There is no change. Now we understand that Honorable Nawakwi has been trying to report Mr. Hakainde Hichilema to the police and to try and make the issue of the farm, the Kalomo farm, into a very huge scandal. Okay. And the High Court had a look at this issue, and the High Court dismissed the application from the former owners of the Kalomo farm, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema's farm, whatever it is. All right. So the High Court has already decided on it, and they said the issue lacked credibility. There was no standing. It was filed out of time, and even if it were filed on time, it still lacked merit. Basically, there was no merit in that application. And it is very sad that it was actually due to that application that both Mr. Nsama and Mr. Kaunda died, because the police got interested and summoned Mr. Hakainde Hichilema to the police, during just 2 days before Christmas. And so as a result of that, there was that commotion that led to the killing of 2 innocent citizens. But the police have not changed their mind, right? They have continued on this path. Now that the Hatembos are retracting, they are re-looking at the issues that happened, the police have continued on this path. They want to find something to stick Mr. Hakainde Hichilema with. You see, that's why I always say that this gentleman is quite innocent. Because if he were not innocent, if this gentleman had in fact even committed a very tiny little mistake, they would have already killed him by now, right? So they have nowhere to stick him to. And so what they do is they try to find faults. And the more they search, the little they find, they actually find nothing. So they have been doing these searches for years and it has yielded zero, nothing, right? So now we understand that in Southern Province, the police are now arresting every Tonga, every famous Tonga they can find, because they think that it is these Tongas that have hidden the Hatembos. And so we understand that Axon Sejani has been arrested. The mayor of Mazabuka has been arrested. The mayor of Choma has been arrested. Several other key Tonga politicians and leaders, they are being arrested. In fact, even some of our people, some of the members of civil society, a chairman of Action Aid, is the chairman or board member of Action Aid, they also arrested him in connection with the same things. Now, this is not making sense, right? It is not making sense because the police are not playing a fair game. The police are not playing a fair game. They know that the Hatembos are not likely to push this matter forward in court and appeal. And so whoever is giving commands, whoever is commanding the police, whoever is giving directions to the police, wants to find a way to arrest as many Tongas as possible, to arrest as many Tonga leaders as possible, on the pretext that these leaders, these community leaders, are the ones that are trying to prevail upon the Hatembos not to appeal the court case or to report Mr. Hichilema to the police. It's very sad and very disappointing. This is not how you govern a country. This is not the way to govern a nation. You do not use the power of the state to persecute citizens, to intimidate citizens, to arrest those people you disagree with, and in fact, to abduct citizens, because that is what we are hearing is happening in Southern Province. Citizens are being abducted on the pretext that they are connected somehow to the Hatembos, whether they've disappeared or whatever has happened, okay? This should not have been the case in the first place. Imwe Vakapokola should have known that Miss Edith Nawakwi, Honorable Edith Nawakwi, had a hidden agenda. She obviously doesn't like Mr. Hichilema, and it's okay. But you never trust politicians, because today they don't like each other, tomorrow they are in good books. So we as citizens of this country and the police should not be involved in these petty squabbles that politicians have. Because politicians have a way of making up and they continue with their lives. Where will that leave the police? Nowhere. Where will that leave the citizens? Even some of us that are saying that Honorable Edith Nawakwi is just making up things, you know, tomorrow something will happen and they'll make up and they'll be in good books with Mr. Hichilema. Bantukale baishibana, chibuse chiweme, bayababiri barishibana. So nomba na ifenga tuwakosa po. Okutuka ba Edith Nawakwi. Ati mwa Edith Nawakwi ngefimule chitakuri Hichilema. No, bakomfuana kuntanshi. Kainge chibusa. Ibala lyakale. It does not just apply to physical relationships, even friendships. Dibala diakale, bakomfuana na kaidi, and they will continue being friends. That's why what we are asking for the police to do is to just be reasonable under these circumstances. Stop abducting prominent Tonga leaders, be it civic leaders, political leaders, or traditional leaders. Stop abducting them, right? It is not going to help. This story of the Hatembos is not a live issue. It is a manufactured scandal. It has failed to stick. Leave it alone. We understand that, in fact, the raid on Shibuyunji is also connected to the Hatembos. You cannot be putting in so many resources as a country, meager police resources, trying to arrest everybody in Southern Province. Are you going to arrest everyone? How far are you willing to go to try and just find something to stick Mr. Hichilema with? Well, we must condemn that kind of attitude, that kind of way of governing. Tekuteka wino kuyo. Tefyo chifuiro okubefi. Tachiweme po yo. Tefyo bateke echalo efi. You know that this is not true. There is no truth in what Madam Edith Nawako is trying to cook up. It's fiction, made up. Even if it were not fiction, time has passed such that there is no reasonable judge who can come to a reasonable conclusion on these matters. The other thing is, it's a civil claim between a farm owner or a former farm owner and a current farm owner. Well, but for you to begin now involving the entire police command, putting in resources, it is not right. You see? When there are so many serious issues in Kitwe there was a serial killer. In Kitwe, serial killer who's been killing people over months. The police never informed us that there was a serial killer on the loose. The police never sensitized the citizens of Kitwe that there was a serial killer on the loose. And now there is an issue with the Hatembos in Southern Province, and suddenly the police are mobilizing their best resources, best armed paramilitaries, best bullets, best guns, best resources to go and arrest every person who is remotely connected to the Hatembos. It means then that what is making you, what is the basis upon which you are prioritizing policing is political. That is where the issue is. It is political. Otherwise, how would you explain so many resources that are being directed at trying to fix Mr. Hichilema in Southern Province? It's common sense. It's common sense, pardon me, please. It's common sense that whoever tries to go and try to implicate Mr. Hichilema in Southern Province, it will not work. Tafiaka bombe. You see, this does not require complicated intelligence. This just requires common amano yachi fiali luafie. Kutu waishiba. Ukwebat umuntu inonshita ku Southern Province. TTM elo nomba station actually implicate va Hichilema in anything. Common sense. Amano yachi fialirwa, amano aya kuchuwe mpala. Nyirenda nga nebo kobati tapadi ifiriko kuchoma nango kukalomo. Bakapokola ibwele anymore. But we know it has nothing to do with the police. It has everything to do with State House. Ebale batuma. Bale bakapokola bale ikataula abantu kuikataula all Tonga leaders ukube kata Tonga leaders. It's very embarrassing. Abducting people. There is this news people who went to Choma. News people. At what are you doing? Zambia belongs to all Zambians. The press in Lusaka has the freedom Mukuya Choma to go and deal with this issue and investigate it. So it's very sad. Okay? It's very sad. Are there any questions? I can see here Shadrach Mwanza is saying that we need to be answering YouTube questions too. Yes, I will be answering Shadrach Mwanza. Thank you. Yeah. Michael, yes, I'll be reading the YouTube ones. Yeah. Yeah. Jefferson Mutisa says Uganda is here. Exactly what was happening in Uganda. And that's the reason why we keep talking. It's because we don't want Zambia to become Uganda. And so we want to express our solidarity with the people of Uganda. One of my students here is actually Ugandan. And so we are in touch with some of the things that are happening. And so we express our solidarity with the people of Uganda. Okay? We are with you during this very difficult time. And the reason why we do what we do, the reason why we are so emphatic on on fairness. It is because we believe that Zambia can do better. We are not just going to let it slide that, no, this is a simple issue, just involving Southern Province or involving the Atembos or involving Mr. Hichilema. It involves citizens of our country. We are not going to allow this unnecessary, senseless abduction of citizens in our country. And what are these abductions about? They're just about trying to fix a political opponent, you know? They're trying to fix a political opponent. That's unacceptable, okay? We find it quite unacceptable. Yeah. That's the thing. It's a private matter. Why is the police? They're trying to... So where this thing is leading, I think it is where they want to go to Hichilema. So they want to arrest him, I think. That is where it's going. Yeah. So now they can't find any reason. That's why now they're trying to intimidate everybody close. Of course, if there are some traditional leaders who were involved in negotiating with the Atembos, they are in their rights. Muntu nomba inedi mbikuli umulando kumirenge. Elo nomba vasokontwe nangu va milambo nangu vamo va headman tarai. Baya ikala no muntu onkwete na ko bwafi ati aleni tuchite resolve kaka issue nishibalo fiania kuvekata nombe fibomba kwenu tamufuta fifure fyabomba ku Southern Province. Apo ba edit na wako bene temulomo batwere ku Southern Province beno mulomo wabo olifye bwino. What Mr. Tembo is saying is that ba edit na wako eva sendere okusensenta bana Atembo okuya bashitira if yakulya noko bapera olupia at a lodge. Elo nomba babebo ko bati yo kanshi muchiteshani muchite su haka inde Hichilema niba Edith na wakwi eba tampire lidiashi abenefyo balanda uko bati baireba batembo ko bana atembo batembo ko bati muchite su haka inde Hichilema nomba ulyo mulomo batwere bana wakwi beno mulomo ulya ulifye bwino. But when other Tonga people try to intervene, that is exactly what is happening. The police should not be used as a tool to persecute citizens of our country. If Mr. Hichilema has committed a crime, show us what crime it is, you know? Other than incessantly using state resources. A serial killer is killing our people in Kitwe. A serial killer has been killing our people for the past months. There was no warning. The police did not tell us that there was something happening. The police did not tell us that there was something happening. Now suddenly they have the resources. And what are the resources? Just arrest, kuikatafie. Government of kuikata, kumugwira. That's what it is. It's very sad. Tefyo bateka. When we are saying tefyo bateka, it is because we know that there is a better way to provide leadership to our country. Not if you. Not if you are madongo. Okay? Ogugu teka balungu, bu teko bwa madongo. Tabale teka wino yo. This is not leadership. Elo wunda ukukosa sana paliresa ukukosedera sana paliresa lesa tekulanda fyechiranderanda ati muleranda paliresa no mumichitire yeno emotumwena lesa otherwise ukumule chita shout lesa and yet after mwalanda amen you send soldiers kushibuyunji you send police to arrest people bali abo mule ikata teba na bako lesa yo Axon sejani temwana wako lesa tamusaka manayena kumwikata fimwa mulonga and you don't care about that. Firafine fiere chitika ku Tanzania. naku Tanzania, naku Uganda, same strong man mentality. If we're Zambia, tatwa kwata strong man mentality. And we are not going to accept it because you are president, nombakula ikata fyo olefu ayoku ikata waikata. Chaku pingula fyo mmanwa tike kate waikata. No, Zambia is a democracy. We are not going to agree. If you go at yoku ikata fyo chikate ikatu kutuma waka pokolo kusuakisha kwa waka pokola. And we are not going to agree with that. That's it. If you want to take Zambia, ngefyo bale take Tanzania nangu Uganda. Kabiye ku Uganda nangu ku Tanzania. Utushire Zambia. Fweba lefu ku take democratically. That's what it means. Aaron Shimakanga says it's abductions. Yes, it's abductions because that's exactly what they are doing. They are abducting citizens in Southern Province. Ibara diakare, yes, kainge ba nabo, kutali bafuma. It is na wakui, na bahaka inde hichirema, kutali bafuma. Chibu se chiweme, ushemwali umfwefyo bana wakui, balumbuleshine diako haka inde hichirema. Pantu inabona ishi babonse, when they are talking about Mr. Hichirema, balandati, aka inde hichirema. That's not how Edith Nawakwi pronounces it. Haka inde hichirema. Haka inde hichirema. You know, go and listen to what she says. So, they are friends. That's why they should not involve us in their petty squabbles, because those two people are going to reconcile later. I'm telling you, if, for example, Hichilema wins in August, it will be open season. It will be very wonderful. In fact, I'm telling you, so if what we are trying to say is we are trying to save state resources in telling Bakapokola to go and help us look for the serial killer in Kitwe and stop this obsession with useless things that are going on in Southern Province of arresting and abducting senior Tonga political leaders and traditional leaders. Yeah. Emmanuel Mwaba, PF government is a lawless regime. They thrive on lawlessness. It's very terrible. Yeah. Yobemba. Tamuchitemen we chibemba. Eje chaushi. Chibemba. Ero kwa wako naka ushi intonation. Ichaushi. Ibara diakare muevo, diakare bakonfuana. Vera tuposera neshita bana wako kumona kona kalimo bakali sana bakonfuana. Tali efe chibalionse tamufimona muevo. Ba politician tuka mairo bali kui. They insult each other. Politicians extremely irresponsible people sometimes. After a few days, you know what happens? They reconcile. No kubepesha sana lesa at we have reconciled because of God. Inoisha takudi lesa kabako after August. Elo chikawama, elo chikaloa after August. Not inoisha. Tamuafi mwene before Lungu became president. Balanda. After Lungu becomes president, you know what happens? They go back. The same people just recycling each other. They insult each other. That's the cycle. All we are saying is that if you're Southern Province, they become the national resources of the police. Chapwa, Simon. No tukubika Waka Pokola. Because Waka Pokola is supposed to be helping our people. Arrest them as serial killers. Yeah. Am I the only one seeing mispronunciation on Edith Nawakwi? The captions lyrics are just bringing something. Yes, Edith Nawakwi it's tough. Yeah. Why can't African leaders be more mature and reasonable? The reason why that is not possible is because we as a people, we Africans need to begin looking at this issue differently. We don't. We don't. I'm almost addressing this issue in Tanzania, but I just want to let it slide for a bit so that abantu chidemi timashai karako tukabwekereko. We Africans are not ready to hold our leaders accountable. That is just the thing. That's why in Zambia, I cannot let it at yom kwa ikula wako feshani. When a president begins misbehaving like this, kulanda. Let the Zambian, what is happening in Zambia, be a model for the rest of Africa. Arresting people, at why are you arresting them? At no, no, we are arresting them just because there is just because Nebokateka. There is nothing like that. If Yakuba Kateka is somehow divine, no. That is why in Zambia, Kateka afumakuisa, afumakuchawama, mufikuru wa fialutuku, emufumakateka. Nomba, teko bati chidere sasa akutola, ukufuma mufikuru wa fialutuku wateka webere ninelesa. No. Lesa lefo kuchinjako, iwe akutolele mufikuru wa fialutuku, mumufolo, ni ishuri dizi na lutuku. Alefo kuimiako na umbi, mkuisa mufikuru wa fiakatata, nangu katubi. That is how our democracy works. You don't become president in Zambia and think that you are divine. You are not divine. Zambia is a democracy. It is a democratic state. And in this democratic state, the citizens of our country can choose who is going to lead them. And in August, we are making that choice. If people choose Lungu, well and good. But we are not going to put spanners on those that are challenging his leadership. That is how it works. Zambia is not a church. It is a republic. Taiwombanga filiatu you ordain ama priest at mwachita ordain ama priest. No. Bantu abasala. In Zambia, it's people who choose. So this idea of the strong man, it's not democratic. Look at Museveni. What is happening in Uganda? If you are a good leader, just lead good, you know, and run fair elections. If people choose, then they've chosen you. But do not put unnecessary spanners. But why are you putting these spanners at you? Te chalo chobe. Chalo chako alesa. Alesa omwine. Ewa chibumbire. And she's not honorable. Awe, umuntu ngadi chitako serve mu government, they are honorable. Niba honorable. I see HH being arrested. I think that's where they are trying to go. That's where they are trying to go. But it will be tough. Yeah. Nyota mtobo yaba biaho. Ai, mwandin biaho. Yeah. Ati webole sago tolere fie mufikuru vya lutuku. It's true. Yashirikaya. Nesa kutola. Okufuma mufikuru vya chiri awai karapo pa mupando ati yo mukwayo mupando wandikwi. Respect the people of Zambia. Let them exercise their right to choose. If they choose you in Shanyoko, then that's fine. We have no issues. But this thing of putting in spanners, unnecessary spanners, so that the other guy doesn't rule, it's unacceptable. Yeah. That's the thing. Ngwira Biswell, wakwe to retract the word chiwawama, chawama muliru. Otherwise, same chawama, another compound makes rich people become president. No, when I say that, I'm not saying that chawama is bad. I come from Chiwempala. Mushenda fisati yon shaf mine Chiwempala. Eko nafuma. Timwena Chiwempala. And even my relatives live in Chawama. So you should retract. Why should I retract? Kwana kalimoni insede. Is Chawama an insult? Eko lesa atufumia. Fino fine nebo na afuma kumayikulire kuchwe mpala. Eko na afuma nebo. Nombankane ati yo mkwai nshafuma kuchwe. Eko na afuma kuchwe mpala. Na bena chiwempala bonze banandi Choso Street, Kalanga Street, Kapumpe Street, walia chisanga nikuli ba bululu nyati. Ekwesu, nombankane, tukane. No. Yeah. Advise us what measures should be taken. I think Zambians should continue talking. Just continue talking like this. Just continue addressing the government and say that you are unfair. It's just the issue of fairness. It's simple fairness. Okubafe fair. Apata tuleranda they should do something complicated. All we are saying is just be fair. Sending police resources to go and arrest Tonga traditional and political leaders because of the Hatembo case is uncalled for completely. It's a waste of police resources. Our police right now is stretched. We don't pay them enough. No, we don't. Police get very, very little salary. They sacrifice every day keeping our country safe. Now imagine, in addition to all this insult of the pay that we pay them, we must now direct them to go and intervene in a personal squabble in Southern Province between Edith Nawakwi and their church. And we think that is okay. No. When in fact we know very well that Edith Nawakwi and their church are differing at a political level. Tomorrow, if HH rules, Edith Nawakwi will be friends again. Chibuza jakare. Idi bala diakare. Bakaya di mulure fintu fiyaba fina bwino. So all we are saying is, do not abuse state resources into personal squabbles. But it wala ku court. Why can't we let the court take its case, its course? The High Court decision, when you read it, it's on point. Number to appeal. Now, appeal, the Atembos did not sanction the appeal. So why then should the entire force headquarters, Southern Province Police Command, Yonse number each state direct all the resources to Southern Province to arrest as many Tongas as possible? Tonsa tuswangane mulefu mwaliva patai tamuva fuaya mulefu kubekata mufipa yaule nifinshi ba michita evivya kobat moya mukuikata meya mwaikata sejani mwaikata onse uyati what is his name, the chair for Action Aid mwaikata abducted, a journalist abducted. No. This is not fair. It does not make sense. You know? You can't say that you are doing all this because of Hakainde Hichilema's farm. It does not make sense because Hakainde Hichilema's farm is not a violent crime. You see that? So for you to be so busy arresting people all over the place is not making sense. You see that? There are violent crimes in Kitwe where a serial killer has been killing people and is leading back Kapokola kufitumbi waipaya. Eko tuale fwa ba Kapokola kutuafuidisha kudia. Not trying to go and invest so much resources arresting every breathing Tonga leader, Mwaikata. At Wyatt, they are connected to the disappearance of the Hatembos. Lelo Mwasa Kamana, about the disappearance of the Hatembos. Mwasakamana sana about the Hatembos. You don't care about the Hatembos. We know what you want. You want to arrest Mr. Hichilema. You want to implicate him. It's not because you love the Hatembos. No. It is not because you love the Tonga people. No. It is not because you love the Bemba or the Ushi people. No. It is because you are a selfish political party which is trying to use levers of the state to oppress a political opponent. And we as Zambians, we are saying no. Kukasompe, Mukanga Street, Maria Mwanakato, Ekweso. Yeah, the best is to sue them in their individual capacities. Can anything good come out of Katondo? No, it can. PF is under pressure because of the contentious president's eligibility. I don't know. Yeah. When are you coming back to Zambia? Do you have planned to contest this year? If yes, as what? What is your reaction on issue of NDC faction of Joseph Akavumba today heading? What is the issue? No. I'll respond appropriately to the NDC issue. I will not disappoint you over NDC. I'll come back to you. Yeah. Henry Munena tukuikata abatonga bonse. That they are involved in the disappearance of the Hatembos. It's a waste of common sense. Firetu ibira fiamano no kutuposere nshita. Ifya kuya mkuikata. Uikata ola onse kanshu ala kola kukubatonga bala ya ikata. Elonga tuwa beba tireke nyukuikata abatonga tiyo you are being tribalist. Ni mweba li tribalist pantu na muchita target abatonga. Ebo mule tumina baka pokola to go and abduct them in Southern Province. You tell me otherwise. Ngabansh mule ikata. At mule ikata because you care for the Hatembos. Is that why you are arresting Sejani? Because you care for the Hatembos? No, you are mafias. Ni mweba kabwala ala. Ni mweba chintons wa. That's exactly what it is. It's not because of the love for the country. No. It does not take rocket science to know that what is going on in Southern Province is a strategy to stop Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Simple as that. Number Hichilema nangwe katuishinga di shuko. Fiance, when they plan it that way, fira lubana, fira pena. Because when we take wali complicated, ngabwali sanga ko something. No mafyonse fira chitashani, fira terera. Fira Isaiah and that no weapon fashioned against you. Number, I should not appear like I'm trying to justify Mr. Hichilema or speak for him. No, I shouldn't. I don't speak for Mr. Hichilema. I'm not his spokesperson. But what I'm saying is the way I see it's like when the government plans to implicate this gentleman, Fira Terera. That's exactly what is happening. Obwanga wafi wokubomba mwebo fiafiri kwa na afifiri obuloshi bafirwa. Nyomba kutuma ko bakapokola. Na webene bakapokola bale fi bonda ikafie. Because reasonably it can't work if you go back mwaya umfoni bakapokola na imweba PF mipereko a little bit of advice. It can't work here kobati you are trying to arrest somebody or implicate them. Elo mwaya mkwika taula abantu. Because even when you have good intentions, people begin questioning themselves to say, but what is really going on? Is it because of us? Because even if the Hatembos had a reason to suspect that ila transaction tayari kwino. Na wabene ba papa. Abati, this is just about our land. Everybody you push abena Hatembo, obviously. Baby, is this issue about that farm? Or these people have an agenda? Number ni agenda nshibakwete. Agenda bakwete yako bati na bamono ko bati Hichilema alefo okuti. Number agenda bakwete yako bati bachishane baye bamunyantirire. If you people were equally concerned about abantu ababa unfair to others, ngachinshi balungu. Why haven't you taken him to task about the widow's money which went into his trust account and he ate it? And records at the law society, at law society, if okunoni law society, Zambia ni las, and records at las are there. Nabalungu bali bachita suspend on suspicion that bali yikata palupia wako awito. Nomba lelo bana wako ibese basensere na ifatu suminati yonkwa bana wako chachini. You care about widows. You care about the poor. Why aren't you holding Edgar Lungu accountable? President Dr. Edgar Lungu accountable? You're not. Because babweshi shidempia na interest babike kwati bali bwesha ine. Baume no kubwesha bali bwesha kadempia shidia. So what is happening is that it's not because this gentleman, it's not because of all that. Tamule mufu ayafie. No, but it's okay. Imwe bana wako ngatamule mufu ayo yumuneno echibusa. Chirifie, it's okay. Nomba mwitubika moyo, mwibika mwabena Zambia in your personal squabbles. If you're mulakana kwefi akare, mwitubika moyo. We refuse that. Mwibika mwanabaka pokola that are paid from taxpayers' money and some money we borrow from China. Mwibabika moyo. Ngana mkwata ka personal issue. Au kuti mwatuweba feka personal issue. It's okay. And in fact, I understand you, Honorable Edith Nawako, in Parwand. I understand you, but you may have a very genuine concern about Hichilema. But please, do not involve the police. It's not a police case. Look at, there is a serial killer in Kitu. Where did the resources go? To Southern Province. Alawavya sana. Esaka will never turn into a tent. Gassing, City Market, Luangwa Copper Mine, Farms, Treason, just one person, but shine. Yeah. There is no way where we are contracting road on the court of 1 million, but we only use 500. It goes missing, yes. Zodwa is cantankerous, she needs Jesus. Who is Zodwa? No, I'm not going to agree that the Honorable Edith Nawakwi is Zodwa Wabantu. No, that is not right. Okay? We need to learn to differ with people without having to call them such names. I disagree with, and I condemn in the highest possible terms, referring to Honorable Edith Nawakwi as Zodwa. I think Honorable Edith Nawakwi is a very good woman. She has served, she used part of her youth serving as Minister of Finance. She helped in the privatization process. She helped re-engineer our economy from an economy that was dependent on the state to a liberal economy. She tried to do her best. She had her own issues, such as the Carlington Maze saga. She had her own personal issues, just like everybody does, right? So we can't use her relationship as a guide because in fact, they do it. They were innocent. Have you seen with men? They do it and then they appear like they are completely innocent. And yet they are the ones. They are the ones who did it. No. So Honorable Nawakwi, I don't condemn her for any of her personal things. Firachitika. Na imwewe nemweba ome mola fichita. Anso imwewa ome ni mwemu fichita na fichita. So no. No, Honorable Nawakwi is wrong because she is using her personal squabbles and involving the police. That is where the issue is. Yeah. Hilda thinks that she's mentally sick. I don't think so. I think people at Chainama are extremely innocent people. They are sick and they are receiving help. And I don't think Honorable Edith Nawakwi, the reason why she's doing what she's doing is because she's sick. No. Yeah. Insulting won't help. We need to address matters rationally and argue based on rationality. Yes. So imwe tamuli baume nkonjera if mule kaingendi if you ndelandi lapanto ndimwa ume na adishiba aba ume alaba ume vama problems. And so I think in Zambia the next president should be a woman after Hichile mine. Now, cabinet because men are a problem. Men have been putting us in problems since 1964. We are tired of men. Bashitata. Now, this is not only about Bashitata. Now, Banamayo bene bamoba mo buafia. Instead ya kusupporta namayo munabo. Chirashupa. And so they continue perpetrating this patriarchy. You see? We need to stick to topics instead of veering on unnecessary things. That's why I don't encourage all those things of calling women names. No, this woman is Diule or anything like that. I don't participate in that. And the person who participates in those things are not my friends. Inenishtualeko kumfuana na la kubula na kubika mungungulu no kupika na kupika napo no kupika po na kupika napo ni shuri mungungulu elo na kupika po. Why? Because you are bringing in irrelevant things if you are upata bana mayo na mayo fena ngolimbia kwete fye umonango babiri iwe ni shubwafya and yet men men, they get away with all these things. The same things if you're condemned by Namayo. Men get away with it, not once or twice, 100 times, and it's not an issue. No. So to be fair, Nyirenda to you, I'm not a general person who are too holier than thou. I think you've seen that, right? I'm a preacher, but I'm not really a holier than thou person. Therefore, I feel fair. You know? Fair. If you are because it's not fair. Because never start. You are the owners of Holy. HH is really a big threat, yes. Arrest HH, a grave mistake. Yeah, then. But you see, it's because the politician you see, that's the problem. That's why we just get rid of the mind to be our politician, to kapange our own cadre movement, cadres of the poor. Because this political class, I think, is a problem. You see, they might go ahead and arrest him and plague the country in chaos. Women can have guys just like men do. No. Okay. Now, that's not what I say. I did not say that women should. No. What I'm saying is it's very unfair for men to condemn women for the very things that men do, if not even more. I'm not saying that women now should go and diversify. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's very unfair for men to sit on the treetop and then begin just ukula tuka bana mayo. No. Yuna mayo tomfwa shan. It's coming from the men. So that's what I mean. I'm not saying that no, they can go ahead and diversify. Don't. Diversification, mafia yengi. If you have no peace, confusion yeka umulandwa diversification. Yeah, it's about fear of being out of power. Failing to arrest cadres who are attacking, it's true. Victor Lukwesa, Bamunsha, the entire cabinet women, that can be interesting. Why not? Victor, Okay, I just want to hear from women. Women, would you support an all-woman cabinet? Okay, women, would you be part of an all-woman cabinet? Yeah. I understand it's a very controversial thing. It's like some women would, in fact, tell you that they would rather have a male boss than a female boss. Yeah. So this is quite interesting. You know, men and women have lived together for thousands and thousands of years, but it appears like you know. We've been together for so many years, but we are still figuring each other out. Now books are still being published about how men and women reason. You know, it doesn't matter. I don't know whether there are differences, but if there are differences, what I don't like is men condemning women for the same things that men do. Men are much more entitled. No, you're not much more entitled. So if you're going to kumwena mosana abantu kona kalimo imoyo wa okay. Eka unfairness nshwa yako. Nora, tell me more. So you wouldn't want an only women cabinet? Eh? Another woman says, I won't support an all-woman cabinet. Okay. The problem is the so-called humble Christians. We don't learn from King Saul when he was after anointing. Okay, right. Women have no confidence. James, no, I want a woman to say. Volanda Kambombi, women alone, big no. Are you serious? Therefore, an all-woman cabinet, because an all-male cabinet, you have to choose. Just women. What do you think? No? Yeah. Male boss, if he isn't a narcissist, I'm fine with. Female bosses are difficult. Apps, I'm a boss of 30 women as a woman, isn't easy. Okay. Interesting. But do you agree with people, with men particularly, condemning women on the basis of the very things that men are guilty of? I think on that one we agree. Definitely mixed is better. Okay. Most of the men are busy calling women amahole, are the same ones sleeping with them. Mwandini Glenda Jiwerwando Mwanza Mwanza weso chachine atu waishi bashani atu yudi Wafya sana. That's why even prostitution, you know, so many people prostitution. The question is, who are the customers? It's not their fellow women. Who are the customers? And we never direct at the customers. No. You know, because even under the Penal Code, and this is one little unknown thing in Zambia, prostitution. So the Zambian Penal Code does not penalize prostitution, right? It penalizes something else, you know, procurement of prostitution, but not prostitution itself. So prostitution itself is not a crime on its own. It's not a crime in Zambia, right? Under Zambian law. That's why when they arrest prostitutes in Solwezi or anywhere, or you know what they charge them with? Mischief or being a nuisance, right? But procuring prostitution is a crime. And how many men have you ever heard are being arrested for it? Very few. Mwalimu Fapot, they've gone to arrest men for procuring prostitutes? No. But they go to arrest women. And prostitution itself, because it's not a criminal offense, so then they charge them with nuisance, public nuisance, idle standing, and mischief, something like that. But the actual crime, which is buying or paying somebody to procure prostitution, Very few men get arrested for it. Bakastoma. Uyu mulandu wa bakastoma. Bati tababekata bakastoma iyo. Yeah. So, Munsho, what are you saying at prostitution? Sorry, what am I saying? No, Peter Michael, what I'm saying is that prostitution, there is no crime under our laws that is prostitution, right? So you can't charge any person for prostitution, but you can charge a person for procuring prostitution. So between a prostitute and a customer, there is a penal code provision to arrest the customer of a prostitute, but not to arrest the prostitute themselves for being a prostitute, right? That's why when they arrest all these prostitutes, they charge them under very confusing, pieces of legislation, such as mischief, idle standing, or mischief, idle standing, or something like that. Yeah, because when you arrest a woman for prostitution, takwaba bomlando at prostitution under our penal code, and in fact our penal code is very similar across the common law countries. The prostitution laws, we inherited them from the British. In Zambia, those are British laws, and that's exactly what happened. So under British laws and the penal code in Zambia, you can arrest a person for procuring prostitution. You can arrest a person for running what is known as a body house. Okay, so you can arrest a person for running a body house. A house for prostitutes. So you can arrest them, but you can't arrest them for the actual thing of being a prostitute. Okay. Nora Madden, the music is making you feel homesick. Why should you feel homesick when we have this music? You know? So you can't be homesick with this music. Yeah. So we are now at almost the 1 hour mark, and I think we have to get going. Thank you very much for joining me today. Yeah. God bless. How do you arrest the buyer when no government obligations were paid and the Ministry of Lands okayed the transaction? Yeah. You are very respected and should use your position to personally talk to these PF leaders. Me? To talk personally to them? No. My duty is not to talk personally to them. My duty is to talk on Facebook. I'm a Facebook and YouTube talker. I'm not a personal talker. The PF government have access to all advisors who talk to them personally. Me, I don't. Yeah. So this idea that we've got to talk to these personally, no. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to end here with this good Luapula song. Isn't this good music? I'll dance one day, maybe after August. Akalela. Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless our country. As you can see, this is good music. Lima Jazz Band. Yeah. True. After August? Yes. Yabura ni Mayo. This is good music. This music is good. Yeah? All right. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless our